everyone, Scott or the Scott Man, and we're here to do a drive video today. We are here in downtown Jackson, Michigan, or like just immediately to the east of it, I'd say. But in this video, we're going to be heading north on M106. M106 goes from downtown Jackson and goes all the way to Gregory, Michigan, which is an unincorporated community that's northeast of Stockbridge and west of Pinckney, Michigan. So this highway runs from M50, which, as a matter of fact, I just filmed the video on M50 this morning, or earlier today. This is the afternoon now. And we're going to be going all the way to M36, which is, so we're basically going along the entirety of M106. So yeah, it is a pretty nice but chilly day today. It is mostly cloudy out right now, and my current thermometer is reading around 19 degrees Fahrenheit. So you convert that to Celsius, it's probably around minus, I'd say like -8, or maybe more like -7. Yeah, just got done eating some lunch in downtown Jackson. Went to a restaurant called the Dirty Bird, which they have a lot of chicken related meals, such as like chicken tenders, chicken wings, boneless and bone-in wings, and also chicken sandwiches. It was really, really good. I want to do a video in Jackson sometime soon, maybe when it gets a little bit warmer. And I'd love to feature that restaurant in the video because it was so good. I'd love to go back there again. M106 is one of the two highways which heads north out of Jackson, with M50 being the other one. M50 goes more to the busy intersection, or interchange with I-94, because you have a lot of shopping up over there, where M106 is a little bit quieter. Oh yeah, as a matter of fact too, I don't think it was last year, I could be wrong, either last year or in 2020, I believe they did a reconstruction project of the Cooper Street. I think the bridge was replaced, and then they built some roundabouts at the interchange. Which, yeah, this is Cooper Street, but this is also M106. Because, yeah, now we got the signs approaching for I-94 as we head out of Jackson into Blackman Township. So here's the first of two roundabouts. Of course, yeah, again on the ramp for I-94 East, that'll take you out toward Ann Arbor and then to Detroit. And also the brief concurrency with 127. And yeah, you can tell that they're going to be resuming some more construction on 94 once it warms up. And then you got the second roundabout to get onto I-94 West, heading out toward Battle Creek and Kalamazoo, and eventually Northwest Indiana and Chicago. And of course, again, the brief concurrency with 127, head 127 north up toward Lansing. Alright, so 13 miles to Munith and then 19 miles to Stockbridge. Yeah, it is nice to film some driving videos here in the state of Michigan again, after filming so many down in Texas. There was one in the Indianapolis area I did. There were 5 I filmed in Houston, Texas. I did one in the Metro Detroit area, and then I did like 2 of them in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. But yeah, I'm definitely trying to plan some more trips for this year, but more about that in a little bit. Because yeah, we're about to come up after this next traffic light. We're gonna be coming up into like the whole, like a huge prison complex. Because yeah, in the Jackson area, you got the Michigan State Prison. there's like a few different correctional facilities in this area. We're gonna be going by like think at least 3 of them. Like after this traffic light up ahead. I'm kind of glad this car is turning left because he's going really slow of course we're about to stop at a traffic light though, so that's partially the reason. And then it's like, yeah, and also have a outpost for the Michigan State Police Department, as the Jackson Post. Yeah, Michigan Department of Correction. So yeah, you got different prisons along in here. Cooper Street Correctional and Special Alternative. I couldn't read it all because I'm not even driving the speed limit. I'm going like 10, 15 under right now. But yeah, huge prison complex, as you can tell. The huge state prison complex here. This is one of the things Jackson is known for. Although it's not in Jackson itself, but it's just outside of it. So that's probably the biggest point of interest along M106. And then, yeah, now we're starting to get out to the Michigan countryside and away from the prisons or the correctional facilities. So, but anyway, with travels, like, yeah, now I gotta start planning things for the year. It's like, yeah, it's like with the pandemic and things like that. Because they're talking about how it's being transitioned to an endemic, which basically means that it's turning into like a cold or a flu, to where it's not as many people that are dying and they're able to treat it more easily and things are more normal. So hopefully with that, travel will be even easier this year compared to last year. But again, it's hard to say though. Travel around the continental U.S. though will be pretty easy because everything opened back up for domestic travel, with the exception of some restrictions for Hawaii or something. It's like, other than that, it's been pretty normal travel around the U.S. even like the second half of 2021. So if I wanted to do some trips around the U.S., then it should be pretty straightforward for 2022 and of course moving on into the future. But yeah, there's different videos here in Michigan I do want to film, and with the driving videos, I do want to resume some of the driving tours again. It's like I did the one in Westland and Garden City, Michigan. That was the only driving tour I've done. I wouldn't mind trying to do another one, or a couple more of them in the near future. Although I gotta wait for some snow melt though, because there's some subdivision streets, because I do go into some of the subdivisions in those videos. I need some of the snow to clear out a little bit. And we could be potentially getting a snowstorm middle of this upcoming week, so that might be so the driving tours might be something I'd have to put up. I may have to put off for another week or two minimum. But again, we'll wait and see. But yeah, I definitely want to. There's some areas in Michigan I want to try to do some filming in. Like, yeah, we'd like to do a video in Jackson for one. I need to get back up to the Traverse City area, because I feel like the video I did up there back in 2016 or 2017 is a little outdated and needs to be updated with better quality too. So I should try to get back up there if all possible. Definitely want to get out to Ludington again, and we'd like to do some more things out in Grand Rapids area too. So I know one of my followers has been wanting to do a meetup or something out in that area. So I don't think he lives in Grand Rapids, but I know like in the western part of the state. So yeah, a lot of cool things in Michigan I'd like to check out, whether it's revisits or even check out some new places too. And of course some more things around the U.S., although I'm still trying to think about where I want to go next. I do need to get back down to Austin, Texas, but I want to keep thinking of how soon I want to return to Texas for a third time. Because yeah, it's like in the past 2.5 months, I've been to Texas twice. Once to Fort Worth, and the second time to Houston. And I wouldn't mind getting back over to Canada too, because tourism for going over to Canada finally reopened back in, I think, it's like the end of the summer, I believe, last year. And even during the whole Omicron wave, yeah, travel stayed open. Because there are places in Canada I'd like to get to, like whether it's some more things in Ontario, because I do got friends in Ontario, including my good friend Ashwani, who I met up with one day in Toronto. And I really would love to get out to Vancouver. There's one of my travel friends, Chris Rainey, who's Yellow Productions on YouTube. Definitely check out his YouTube channel. He does a lot of great travel videos, which are fun and informative. I know he, his wife, and their now 2-year-old daughter did a trip out to Vancouver back in October last year, and they had a really great time out there. So I definitely like to check out Vancouver for myself too. Vancouver, maybe even go like to Whistler or something up in the mountains. And then some U.S. destinations too. I need to get back out to the West Coast again. So I spent a lot of time last year in the East Coast, like New York City, Boston, and of course I'm always down for another Boston trip. One of my favorite cities in the United States. Back to that in a second. Yeah, one thing I forgot to point out too, we're not terribly far, maybe within like 10 miles away from the, I think it's the Base Meridian line or something. Because I remember going to that little remote park where it's basically like the things like the Meridian line for the state of Michigan, where that meets with what's called the baseline, which runs kind of east and west through the state of Michigan, although it's not a perfectly straight line through the state. And then yeah, to continue on M106, you go this way. So I know that's close to Leslie, Michigan, which is along 127. I need some water. So yeah, not sure if I'm going to go to Boston this year, but I'm always down for a Boston trip, though, if I decide to do like like even just a weekend. And then, so anyway, and then of course last year I did the road trip out to New England. So wouldn't mind doing some type of a West Coast trip or something this year. Is I still need to get out to San Diego. Because yeah, Chris, who I just mentioned about a few minutes ago, he lives out in Southern California, so it'd be cool to meet up with him for one. I also would like to get up to Seattle as well too, because I've heard great things about Seattle. But this is not the good time to go out to Seattle because it's kind of like their wet season, I'd say, because the Pacific Northwest can get a lot of rain during the winter time. Although, and it can even get cold enough to where you can see snow there too. Not often, but snow is possible in Seattle, and as well as Portland, Oregon. Speaking of Portland, not Portland, Oregon, but Portland, Maine. Like New England and Boston, they're getting dumped on with snow right now. There's a really powerful winter storm or nor'easter going through there. Possible 2 feet of snow in eastern Massachusetts, going along the Atlantic coast over there. It's like, yeah, we could get a snowstorm here this next week, as I was saying earlier, but not 2 feet. Although if we get it bad enough, we could get a foot of snow. I feel like Southeast Michigan is overdue for a big winter storm where you can get a foot of snow, because I haven't seen that at least a couple years or so. So yeah, for a foot of snow, Michigan, especially Southeast Michigan, is overdue, I'd say. But yeah, just try to even think about other places I like to go to around the United States as well. Maybe some different places where people don't tend to go to as much. Again, a lot of things I'm trying to think about. And then of course some international trips too. Oh, so we're now entering Munich. I'm not even sure if Munich is I think it's an unincorporated community, because I'm not seeing a post office. Which, yeah, it's probably just an unincorporated village, just because, yeah, I didn't really see a post office there. And what's interesting is that the speed limit was now reduced from 55. But yeah, try to plan like at least one, maybe 2 international trips, because I did the one to the Czech Republic last year. Because I definitely want to get back over to Europe again, because I would like to get to Portugal. Also love to go to Serbia. Other different areas. This is cool. We got a nice hiking and biking trail we just passed, and I'd like to say I think that goes up to Stockbridge. So I know there's a trail that goes from Stockbridge to Pinckney, Michigan, because I walked on it very briefly when I did that video in late 2020 when I went to Pinckney, Michigan. And I'd like to say that trail continues out of Stockbridge, going right there, and it may even go all the way down to Jackson, but don't quote me on that one. Yeah, this is a nice road, I have to say. Not much traffic on on this road, mainly because it's like, yeah, Jackson can be pretty busy, but I gotta be careful with this mail car here, so I can't get over in the other lane to go around, but this will work. But yeah, M106, yeah, only goes to like Stockbridge and then ends in Gregory, which is just an unincorporated community. Oh, signs for Waterloo Recreation Area. I remember that video I did in Waterloo Recreation Area. It's one of the largest state recreation areas in the state of Michigan. Like that and Pinckney recreation areas, those are huge. Lots of trails in those parks. Yeah, Stockbridge should be coming up in a few miles or so, I'd say, because we're not that far away. But yeah, it's like a nice snowy landscape, I have to say. Not really any snow in the trees or anything, but just on the ground though. We're now leaving Jackson County and entering Ingham County, which Ingham County is home to Lansing, Michigan, which is up in the northwest corner of the county, where we're in the southeast part of the county. It's like Ingham County, other than Lansing, it's pretty rural. But as I was just saying, it changes once you get to the northwestern part of the county, where Lansing and East Lansing are located. Yep, this is classic southern Michigan. Rolling hills, although maybe not as many hills here compared down to the Irish Hills, but lots of farmland and some wooded areas. Alright, I think we're starting to come into Stockbridge now. Coming up, we're coming up to the excuse me, come up to the intersection with M52. Make a right turn here at M52. That'll take you down to Chelsea, and then to Manchester, and then to Adrian. Yep, now entering the village of Stockbridge. So right here, M106 briefly runs concurrent with M52. M52 is another highway I should do some videos on too. Although I'm not sure how I want to do those, because M52 is pretty long. And I want to try to, if I were to film that road, I want to try to avoid doing like 50-minute videos if all possible. The thing is, yeah, this is that, yeah, Lakelands Trail State Park. Yeah, this is that same trail I think we passed by several minutes ago. And this, yeah, this same trail heads out toward Pinckney. Well, it goes into Gregory first and then Pinckney. Yep, Stockbridge is a pretty nice village. Nothing too big. It's smaller than Pinckney, Michigan, I'd say. town and got the beautiful town hall there. I think that's a town hall. I think that's the town hall. Different small businesses in here. So if you were to make a left turn here, that's the continuation of M52 as it heads up toward Weberville and then up toward Owasso and Perry, Michigan. And then, of course, making that turn here to go this way, this is the continuation of M106. Stockbridge is, yeah, again, as I was saying, just a small village. Wouldn't surprise me if people who live out here might commute into like Ann Arbor or to Lansing. You guess you could or even maybe even to Flint, but it's like you could commute to Detroit, but you're kind of far away from Detroit over here. It's like, yeah, if I worked in Detroit, I would not want to live out here. Just because it'd be way too far. I'd be spending probably 2.5 hours of my day just commuting. But at the same time, people do that because people do enjoy living out in the country. Alright, so 5 miles to Gregory, and that's where M106 ends. If I were to, once I got into Gregory, I head over to Pinckney, be about another 13 miles to Pinckney via M36. So we'll be done with this video in about a few minutes or so. But yeah, it's almost the beginning of February, and there's still a lot in the year for travels and different things like that, but I gotta start finalizing some early plans soon. Otherwise, this year's just gonna just fly right by, because yeah, 2021 went by really, really quickly. Except for maybe the first 2 or 3 months. So I didn't do a lot of traveling. I'd say the first 3 months of 2021, other than some random different areas around Michigan. And we're leaving Ingham County now. We're entering Livingston County. Yeah, I got these nice rolling hills over in here. So yeah, anyway, yeah, a lot of different things to think about too. And just trying to think about what type of videos to make, and in terms of my vlogs, like driving videos that I do, yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, oh yeah, I think we're getting to the part of M106 where yeah, we're gonna see a lot more in the way of like curves in the road. Because yeah, with M106, this is my first time driving in the entirety of M106. Because up to today, I've only driven on M106 between Gregory and the Stockbridge area, like M52. Because that stretch I filmed before getting into Stockbridge, I had not been on that part of M106 at all before. So this was a new experience for me. But yeah, we got some tight curves in here, so it's like you have to be careful, especially if you're driving through here at night, because it's not like like not like it's lit up at night, and like not a ton of signage. So it's like, yeah, driving through here in the middle of the night, you gotta be really careful. But yeah, it's like a lot of the roads in southern Livingston County do a lot of curving and wiggling around. So this is pretty much a common sight. But on the bright side, it's very scenic. Yeah, I'd say this is probably the hilliest terrain I've seen on M106 yet. And also, if you want to go to Hell, Michigan, continue straight down that road, which is Doyle Road, and then it'll take you over to the main highway, which goes through Hell, Michigan, which is an unincorporated village south of Pinckney, Michigan. And we're going to be starting to come into Gregory in the next minute. So we're getting close to the end of this video already. Yeah, this has been a nice drive, although I feel like as I'm getting closer back into the southeast Michigan, it's like it's starting to get more and more cloudy. Oh well. Yep, and we are now entering Gregory. Okay, and yeah, here's the main highway coming up, which goes into Hell, Michigan, which is D32. So Doyle Road eventually ends up at D32. So if you want to go to Hell, Michigan, if you miss that turn, you can make a right turn here and it'll take you the same direction. Alright, so we have reached Gregory, Michigan, and we have driven the entirety of M106. As we went from Jackson, Michigan, where it starts at M50 all the way to M36 here in Gregory, Michigan. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come along and join you for the adventure, and don't forget to click that notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes live. Well, thank you for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scott Man, signing out.